Is this the JB stream? People get hype? What's good, boys and girls? It's me, JB, Jay Blader, the one and the only, the builder, the master Minecrafter himself, on a wonderful Tuesday. How are you guys doing? Let me get some hypes in chat. Yeah, we are back here on the Minecraft hardcore world. This time with shaders. And we're gonna play some Minecraft today. There's a lot of stuff that I want to do on here, and I want to have fun and relax and do it with you guys. We'll talk a little bit about the books I'm reading. We'll talk a little bit about what I've been up to and in Minecraft and in real life. And anything else you guys really want to talk about. Politics, my personal life, sports. I'll tell you, one of the funniest things that I saw was Nickelodeon did a SpongeBob casting, SpongeBob and Patrick casting the Super Bowl. That crap was so funny. If you haven't seen clips from that, please go watch that, especially if you're a fan of SpongeBob, because that was just freaking hilarious. It was really great. And then they did it by kind of VTubing the voice actors of SpongeBob, Tom Kenny. So if you get time, look up how they did that, because it is just so funny. And their commentary was really great. Yeah, Taylor Swift's boyfriend, good at football. Exactly. Like, they just nailed it. Like, everything about it was funny. After a fumble, they were like, firmly grasp it in your hand. Like, just, there were SpongeBob references from the past 20 years all throughout the cast, which, like, as someone that grew up on SpongeBob, was just, oh, gosh, that was so good. I hope they do it again next year. I'm sure it was expensive to produce, but it was so funny. Also, let's go over what I've done here on the world since the last episode. We made it to 30 episodes. All of my friends guessed 13 to 20. You guys can suck it. 30 episodes. I'm good at Minecraft, and I'll show you what I did. I put in this off camera. I put in this driveway here. It's nothing fancy. You can see I just ran a line up to our wheat field here, put in a driveway, so that connects all of our walkways. I built some big old trees, and if you remember, last episode we went on Corrales' server, and I looked at a bunch of spruce trees, and that is what gave me the inspiration for these giant beauties right here. So we got some kind of tall oak trees here. I mean, it's tall spruce trees. They are not that easy to build. It takes about 10 minutes to build one. But they are very cool. These trees are a lot faster. The kind of weeping willow oak things are a lot faster to build. The custom spruce trees take some time, but they do look very nice. So they are nice. Finished decorating this little house right here. All I did was put flowers around the outside. You'll see some coarse dirt, some podzol around the outside. Did a little landscaping here, put in the path. None of this stuff is crazy. And then I moved our little shulker box monsters over here. This is all the items that I've been using to work on this area over the past week and a half. What else? A little bit of landscaping right here. You might have noticed that there used to be a ladder here that went down to our amethyst. Do you remember that? We did that back on day, like, maybe 10? I'll show you what I did with that. But first, let's walk around the house here. See, I just planted some grass. A little bit of landscaping. It goes a long way, I think. Still got some torches here, but I think this is looking nice. I like the scaffolding for windows on this. It makes it really look abandoned. So I think it's kind of nice. Alright, and then I didn't do anything on the inside last time, minus the pumpkin and melon farm. And I got good news. Pumpkin and melon farm still cooking. Still working. But what I did add was 4 of these little mini sugarcane farms. They are not very complicated. All they are, we got slime blocks here. And then sugarcane in here. And this observer is going to observe when the sugarcane grows up. Minecart hopper underneath to pick it up. I'll go down here so you can see. It is not super fancy, and it does not produce a ton of sugarcane, but it is some passive sugarcane. This thing is freaking crazy, though. This farm produces a ton of pumpkin and melons. We definitely will probably need a bulkier sugarcane supply at some point, but for now, it's getting the job done. We're not using it for villager trading, so we just need a passive amount for rockets, as I use rockets around the area and around the server. Our other auto farm in this area is the mob farm over here, and of course the slime farm. So let's check out this one. This is the mob farm. I'm sure you guys remember this. So you can see it has been cooking too, but the rates on this thing are pretty abysmal because of how often it is loaded. But I think I want to eventually have all of these farms sending their items to one place, which is going to be a cool project once we get to it. But that is not on today's thing. But what we can do today is make sugarcane auto farm. We can knock this off of the to-do list. Another item off of the to-do list. So let's grab it. Let's knock it off. A bada bing, a bada boom. Another item marked off there. So tons of stuff that we can still do. We're probably only halfway done with the stuff that kind of needs to happen on here as far as stuff that is sustainable for me to play the game. And then, of course, there's always more to do. But, man, this place looks so good with the shaders. Freaking beautiful. Isn't it beautiful? Look at this. Freaking beautiful. So you might notice I tore down... We had a little spruce tree farm out here in the ocean. I tore that down. I want to work on a more permanent tree farm solution today. So that is the goal. And I've also bred up a ton of villagers and turned the breeder off again. If we go in here, you'll see I got a ton of villagers in here. Shoulder to shoulder. They love it in there, though. Trust me, they love it. I got a few kind of rambling around here that I might have to take care of. But this is for an iron farm or a potato pumpkin farm. I don't know, whatever. Potato, melon, freaking auto farm. We got some spare villagers for that. Dude, this is the pack you recommended. It is a nice shaders pack. It makes this place pop, man. Sure do. It's very nice. The last thing I did off camera, I did it while watching the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl. I didn't stream or play yesterday much, but I did play some during the Super Bowl. Was I worked on this little area down here. Let me go show you the, of course, this is the slime farm. And you'll see now that there are some little openings in here. Like that. And basically, I just extended this mine shaft down to where the ladder could meet for the amethyst. So I just hid the entrance to the amethyst if we need to get to it. So if we go down here, you'll see this is just a decorated cave. All I did was mine this out. This was already mined out. There's actually a cave already here, if you remember. So I just mined out this little area here. We put up some fences so no one falls through. And then down here, I made just a little quiet area with some beds, and the amethyst ladder is right here. So this will take us to our amethyst if we need to farm some. That's it. Nothing crazy. Just mined and decorated a little bit of area. Try to keep it kind of natural looking, you know. So that's our dwarf mining area, or whatever you may want to call it. Just our mining area there, you know. Under the crane. Excellent, excellent. I think that's about all we've got going on over here. Now, today, I got big ideas. I got big ideas. I want to do a tree farm. Right now, I'm just planting trees over here. And it has temporarily been fine. But I do want to do something a little bit more permanent for a tree farm. But what I have to decide is where I want to put it in the scheme of the little kind of town or village that we're making here. So what I imagined is that this road would continue this way, kind of curve a little bit to the right, and then maybe back left. It's just going to go that way for the sake of simplicity, right? Same thing with this fence. I think I'm going to have this fence just continue to go to. This is kind of like a wooden kind of fence that you see often by roads to keep cattle or something in, you know. So we're just going to keep that. Now, what's going to be the interesting part is what I do with the rest of this land. I'm thinking here, let's turn off the shaders so that we can work through the night here with our little noggins. That's very bright. Okay. Okay, so what I'm thinking is that this area here, we might have some farms. And then, you know how they mark off construction zones with, they often mark off construction zones with, like, steel kind of fencing. So that's what I'm thinking we do here. We put some steel fencing here to kind of mark off the construction zone. And then what do we do in this area? Well, I'm thinking about putting a warehouse here. I think a warehouse would be kind of cool. And it would give us space to put a tree farm. That is what I am thinking. So, the problem is I don't have a ton of material, like iron bars. I would want to use iron bars. I don't have a lot of iron bars. So let me see what other materials I've got. You know, what else could work here? We could do a stone wall. Could do another type of fence, although I think the iron bars would look the best. So we could build an iron farm first and then do the tree farm. What I have right now over on that island is functional. It's just something I want to do down the road. And to build an iron farm, I'm going to need to build another island. So we could figure out where we want to place the next sky island. Let's pick up some of these. I'll be back in 1 minute, guys. Dude, I have been mewing. You don't even know. Sometimes I do it a little differently though. I kind of go like, I kind of show my teeth when I do it. Call it smewling. It's pretty cool. You guys should check it out. I'm so sorry, guys. I had to use the bathroom. Like I was like, my stomach was hurting, and I was like, bro, I'm fine. I'll just like, I'll wait this out. No. No, there was no waiting. There was no. Wait. Stop. Can you guys see him? A little meanie. There was no waiting that out. There was no. Sometimes you can wait it out. Sometimes your body will not. That was a no waiter. That was a you're gonna go right now. Y'all know what I'm talking about for sure, for show. All right. Yeah, I think Iron Farm location is gonna be something worth writing home about today. So let's figure out where we want to put that ding dang dong diddly do Iron Farm. More so, I basically got to figure out where the bottom of it is gonna be, more so than anything. So let's see. It's got to be far away from the villager hall. Or it helps if it's farther away from a villager breeder. So maybe we'll put it... Maybe we'll put it like up here. That should be far enough away. We could technically build multiple of them. So it's not a huge deal. Let's go up right here. This seems like a good spot. I want it to be a little bit higher than... You don't want to build it too high. It actually doesn't work if it's too high. Funny enough, the mechanics of it can be kind of odd. Okay, go up a little bit more. A little bit more. Alright, that'll be good. We'll put it here. So this is going to be the bottom of it. Yeah, there was no waiting for that one, man. Ooh. You guys know what I'm talking about. We've all been there, right? That was a no-waiter. Ain't no waiting on that one, boys. No waiting. Alright. So that'll be the bottom of it. Excellent. Let's see here. So there'll be an island there. I don't know how big the island needs to be. Okay. Okay. Let me tell you guys, or let me ask you guys, are any of you guys following the current Vosh drama? Because it is crazy. And it is kind of started a conversation about lolicon content and the morality and ethics of it on the internet, which has been interesting. It's been interesting to follow that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is use a Minecraft dome generator, and we're going to do an upside down spheroid. That's how we're gonna do the Sky Island. Last time, I just eyeballed it, and that was fine. But we're gonna go a step further this time. And let's see, what is the radius of... I want the island to be... It's gonna be about the same size as this one. Maybe a tad bigger, because we need space for iron golems to not spawn. 306. So this one's like 22 radius. So a 32 radius should be fine, right? I'm in my other monitor here. Oh, that's the layer we're on. Okay. We'll do 35 diameter. No. I'm trying to see if this is diameter or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, this is diameter. So we want the diameter to at least be 45. We'll do 45. I'm in my other monitor right now. Here, I'll show you guys what I'm using. I'm using this thing called Plots Models. Hey, Turtle, what's good, bro? And then we're going to build the upside down dome. So we're going to start here and then go up. That's the plan. Alright, I got it in my other monitor. So I'm gonna zone out and follow this, and we'll talk and we'll chat. If you guys got anything you wanna talk and chat about, put it in the comment section below. But yeah, I've been watching this like whole discussion that's started about like lolly content and stuff, and it's been like crazy to see people openly like kind of defend that content. As like as if it doesn't like just kind of bring more people into a really uncomfortable like content generated world. It doesn't really solve any problems. It's been interesting, to say the least, to like see people's rationale. This is the center, right? Okay. 3, 2. Is that the center? Yeah, that's the center. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, that was the problem. Okay. Got that. Let's go up one layer. It is a sus topic, bro. It's like... I mean, I think it's worth talking about. Like, there is a discussion to be had. But... really surprised. I was really caught off guard by the amount of people that are just... very, very much pro, like... animated CP, you know? It's like, oh my god. You guys are crazy. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 2. 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. Really blew my mind. I think it all started with the Vosh stuff this week. Because he's like very openly into bestiality, which is a whole nother like, what the frick is happening here? I mean, I guess like animated bestiality is like not hurting anyone, quote unquote, even though it's still like crazy. Oh no, yeah, 100%. Like, I agree with you. I think the content you consume definitely alters the way you see and view the world. And if you're viewing or interacting with CP content, even if it's animated or not, that makes me really uncomfortable. We're talking about the Vosh drama, bro. I don't know if you saw it. I'll just give you a short rundown. Vosh, leftist streamer, right? He apparently has been very open in the past that he's into like bestiality. He is very much into like horse. I think his animal of choice is horses. But he's very much into bestiality, which is like already a lot to take in. And then he's also like, a lot of his fans and a lot of people in the community are very open to supporting like Lolita and or like lolly content. And it's a lot to take in. For the record, I do not support that crap. I do not think that any type of underage sexual content is good, whether it's animated or not. I don't think there's no positive on that. I don't think the best positive is there's no victims. The worst positive is that it's just going to ramify and justify people's weirdos, like their insinuation for it. They're gonna think that because stuff like that exists, or that it's okay to do stuff, and it's very clearly not. One of his craziest takes, I'm gonna use my words very carefully so I don't get banned on Twitch. One of his craziest takes, in my opinion, is that he said that it is possible for there to be positive sexual encounters between adults and children. I'm going to say that again. He said, not me. I do not think this. This man said, Vosh said that he thinks that there is a possibility for there to be positive outcomes sexually between like sexual partners of adults and children. I disown that. I don't see how that's possible. Just want to throw that out there. I don't think it's possible. You could go down the training thought of, if it is possible, then does it make it okay? And I would say still no. I guess his argument is extremely in hypotheticals. Like, if it is hypothetically okay I don't even think it's possible. I think it's like too alien of a concept. But his idea, I guess, is like, if there's victim, I'm going to call them victim A because I don't believe children can consent to sex. But if there's victim A and an adult, and they have I don't think it's possible for them to give consent. But in this extreme alien hypothetical, if they give consent, you know, is it, and content is made of that. Again, I don't think children can give consent to having content of any type made of it. Like, I don't think children should be recorded, like, really doing, like, I don't think there should be, like, the exchange of like, children doing, like, playing sports and stuff. Like, really, especially like, teenage, like, young children and stuff. Because I don't think that you can truly consent to everything. As a kid, I don't think you understand the ramifications of what you're doing as a kid. The idea of something existing on the internet for eternity as a child is, I think, really foreign. And it makes me really uncomfortable. So hearing people say that it's possible for people to, like, children to consent to having CP filmed of them or something, it's like, oh, goodness gracious, that take is hideous, you know? It's crazy. But there are apparently a lot. I don't know if there's a lot. I would say there's not a lot. I would say there are, like, very impressionable people in his audience that vehemently defend him in this take. And it's just, like, crazy to me, man. It's crazy freaking take. Don't see how anyone can entertain that. But then you have the argument then, okay, now it's animated. Is this better? There's no, on paper, there's no victim in an animated case. The question of consent doesn't matter. I still think if a person is actively okay with like, the preying on a child in that manner, it's just, I don't want nothing to do with that. I don't think that's possible. I don't think there's anything good about that ever. I don't know. I've been watching some people talk about it just out of my own curiosity, and it's crazy the people defending this guy. It's crazy. Crazy defending those takes. Yeah, very similar to Milo Yiannopoulos' views. Very similar. I mean, I guess another like another kind of way to look at it is like, okay, what about like children's consenting to like children's consenting to being like on TV and stuff, right? It's like children will never probably truly understand the weight of being like on a TV show or something, right? 2 1 2 3 2 1 2 3 2 1 2 3 2. Okay, there we go. I was like, how am I counting this wrong? Which I also think is kind of a problem. And I think if you look at a lot of child stars, they would say like, I was okay being a child star, nothing really bad happened, I made money, And at least in these situations, I think the child stars have some level of control. There's definitely like a power dynamic, and like there's definitely some psychological things happening there that are make me uncomfortable. I think there's more of an argument that there's like positive outcomes for both parties. I don't think there's any positive outcomes in CP, obviously, but like even that is like uncomfortable to me, because I'm not sure if I just know like when I was younger I didn't understand, and I think a lot of people don't, even some adults don't understand the ramifications and the like longevity and permanentness and the effects of viral content and film and movies and stuff, right? Like it can be totally fine, or it can ruin your life. I mean, one of my favorite examples of that is Jeanette McCurdy. I love Jeanette. She played Sam on iCarly. But like there was an example of like her parents kind of her mom kind of forcing her in to do something she didn't really want to do. And I think that playing roles and stuff kind of, I don't know if they ruined her life. I don't know if I'm qualified to say that it ruined her life, but I think it had a large negative impact on her self-image and what she wanted to do in life. And if you watch her talk about it and stuff, I think she's very open about that. She actively really hated her mom. Her mom was also didn't understand a lot of, her mom was borderline abusive, and talk about like not respecting like any form of consent. Like her mom definitely didn't, physical or emotional. Yeah, vlog family channels 100%. I hate them. It's like there's no way these kids know what they're signing up for. And what I find the vast majority of the time is that the kids are not going to benefit from this at all. Like if you could at least be like, well, at least the kids are going to have at least they're growing up wealthy or something, or they're going to inherit an empire. I still think it's wrong, but then you at least have a conversation of pros and cons in the case of this child. The problem is with these family vlog children channels, whatever, I don't think they ever come out of these situations in a good financial, or like the parents usually get divorced or have drama, and it crashes and burns, and they usually don't have any money in the end. I think there are very few examples of the family vlogging stuff or family kids content like going well. Don't think there are a lot of examples. I really don't. I think you're gonna have to look pretty hard for the examples of those. Truly do. Some of the toy review stuff comes to mind, but even that was, some of that was scuffed. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay. 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, and it starts raining. Of course. 1, 2, 3. Center. Okay. Ah! I fell. But yeah, that's that. There's some discussions happening right now. I think Ryan's tour review, it's like that was kind of the example I was thinking. Like at least him and his parents came away with it like very wealthy. If there is damage, if there's damage done to his psyche or to like what he wants to do as a person or whatever, I don't think we're gonna see it for a minute. There may not be any. There may not have been really any downside to that. Except maybe he didn't always want to play with the toys, or like maybe his parents were like kind of forced him to make content that may have made him a little uncomfortable, you know. I'm sure having your parents be like, hey, you gotta go play with this toy because we need to make money is I don't always think the best for a kid, right? That doesn't, I just don't think you should force a kid to do anything that they're against doing for the most part. I mean, obviously you'll have to force them to do some stuff, like freaking bathe or something, but I think in a lot of instances, 3, 1, 2, 2, 1, 3. I think in a lot of instances it's better just to let kids, especially when it's like their free time or something, let them be passionate about what they want to be about. Like extracurricular, you know. If they want to draw, let them draw. If they want to do sports, as long as they're doing something that brings them happiness for the most part and it's not hurting anyone else, let them freaking do it. I know I placed a block under the ring, but I'm going to eventually go back and do that and make it like have little drop downs and stuff anyway, so it doesn't matter. That's also why I'm making this thing. If you notice, like the ring I'm doing right now isn't a necessary ring. It's like an extra thickness ring. I'm doing that so I can carve away stuff later. Because I want to be able to like carve the shape a little bit, you know? That's how I kind of get that like cone type of shape. But I think we're getting kind of close to that, right? Yeah, so you can see the dome. I'm gonna have to like... I'm gonna have to change the bottom of the dome to kind of like curve up to that, as you can see, but it's not that bad. We can do that. And then add some extra stuff, you know. It ain't that bad. You know me, boy. Just a little builder. Alright, 6. Let's see. Should start to get a little easier now, because we're going to be doing rings instead of, like, long rings like that. Go get some more cobblestone. I like throwing in a mixture of blocks in here. Grab some of that. Grab some of that. Okay. It looks funny right now. That's good. The center. So I got 4 off. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. I've been reading Wicked, which has been a good read so far. Because I never really thought that much about The Wizard of Oz, right? The Wizard of Oz. I never really watched The Wizard of Oz growing up because my mom as a kid, had a phobia of that movie, believe it or not. Don't really know why. She just always told me, I hate that movie. I had nightmares when I was a kid. You're not watching The Wizard of Oz. And so, as a kid, I was just like, whatever. I don't need to watch The Wizard of Oz anyway, right? So I never did. Never watched Wizard of Oz. So now I'm going back and reading, like, the author Baum. I'm reading his kind of reasons for writing and the synopsises throughout the years, and that story is way deeper than I thought it would have been. So Oz, or the land of Oz, I'm going to try to get this right off the top of my head. Forgive me. Look up. There's a bunch of synopsises online. It was written at the turn of the 19th century, right out of industrialism. So basically, at the time when it was written in the late 1899, 1905, you had a bunch of super big industrialists that had just finished coming out of power. The Rockefellers. You basically had a bunch of oil tycoons and a bunch of populists that kind of like now owned a large percentage of politicians and owned a large percentage of the wealth. And so there was a movement among a lot of people, especially farmers, and a lot of agriculture, a lot of small business owners. There was a lot of like movement for them to get into Congress, and they basically joined the Democrat Party. And their goal was to stop big banks from financing, and the president from stopping like the financing of these super large industries that are just taking over industrialization at the time. So this was a populist. It was called the populist movement. So the Wizard of Oz, it stands for the Wizard of Oz, or ounces. Because what was happening is, because of the industrialization, the value of like the ounce of gold was dipping fast. So a lot of the populists believed that we should switch to a currency that the dollar should be backed. They basically wanted to cause a pseudo-inflation. I think they wanted to cause a pseudo-inflation by not only using gold as the standard of value of the dollar, but also the ounce of silver. So this would change the way the value of the US dollar drastically, right? That was their idea. That was their plan. And so as the writer kind of represented or sympathized with a lot of the ouncers, he wrote this book called The Wizard of Oz. And it's about Dorothy, just an everyday girl, going and meeting some people on the Yellow Brick Road. The Yellow Brick Road ran to Emerald City. Do you want to guess what some of these things are? Emerald City, Washington, D.C., the capital of Oz. Yellow Brick Road, it's paved with gold, because that's what the gold standard was on. The Wicked Witch of the East, she was destroyed when Dorothy landed in Oz. That they are supposed to represent capitalist bankers from the Northeast, basically stockbrokers and stuff that are investing money in super large bloated monopolies. The Scarecrow, represents the average farmer that was too dumb to. They wanted a brain because they wanted to get smart enough to understand the politics to change things. He wanted a brain. The Tin Man, your average industrial worker that's smart enough to see what's going on, but wasn't invested enough to do anything. The Lion, I think he said the Lion was the current leader of the populist movement who had no courage. Basically, he had no backbone in the political arena. he was like running for offices and stuff, and he wasn't getting anywhere because he had no backbone. So that's who the lion represented. I can't remember the politician's name. I think it's Davis off the top of my head, but I can't remember. And then the Wicked Witch of the West was, I think, supposed to represent like the industrial politicians. And then originally Dorothy's shoes were not ruby red, but they were made of silver. And so the whole story is about these ordinary people, or people that want traits. They're stepping up, getting their traits. The Wizard of Oz gives them the power to do all these things. The president is like, hey, be courageous, do all these things. And then they destroy the witches, and then they start ruling. You know, the Scarecrow rules Emerald City, and Tin Man rules whatever, and whatever. So they come to power, and they make things in Oz better. They use everyday tactics to make things better. They're basically pseudo-socialist in a way. I mean, they're capitalists, but they want a lot of the messaging was pseudo-socialist. But there you go. Super interesting, I thought. I didn't know that. And so, going into Wicked, I'll say I don't think it matters at all. I don't think I think the meaning of Wizard of Oz was kind of lost to time after the 1940s and 50s. And it became this just children's tale. And it's fantastical in its own sense. Like, it has the dual meaning. You still want to see these underdogs take back control from people that don't deserve it, right? So, in that aspect of it, I think it's pretty interesting. And I think for the sake of Wicked, like, I don't think it matters. I don't think pretty sure the pseudo political meaning of it doesn't matter at all. But I thought I would share. I thought that was very interesting. And I'm sure my synopsis of it was not complete. I recommend looking it up online, actually. It's very cool. It's a good read. There's a few kind of shorts about it written by PhDs or literary artists at the time, and that knew that the economic state a little bit better than I did of the US at the time. But I think it's ironic, really, because Wicked is having a resurgence, and yet the reasons for writing The Wizard of Oz, I think people that felt in the populist movement that industrialization was failing them, I think people are feeling that right now. I think people are actively feeling like Amazon and big monopolies that have changed America, and the politics of it, I actively feel like there's a lot of relation there. So that pendulum swing, I think we're seeing more young people accepting tenets of socialism, of heavy regulation, and everyday people having vested interest in what's happening. Because socialism doesn't have to mean that there's not aspects of capitalism, but it just means that there's more ownership in everyday people, so that there's less corruption on an individual level, or it can mean that, right? I think we're seeing more and more people resonate with that. Okay, there we go. Another row done. And I didn't realize, I thought Wicked was a child-friendly-esque book. Why did I think that? So stupid. It is not. mean, even Shakespeare is not really child friendly. There's a lot of like sex and cheating and stuff in that. That's basically it's got some spicy bits, especially with like cheating and scandalous sexual relationships and stuff like that. Which I did not really expect going into it, not gonna lie. But it does make it for like an interesting read, especially when I'm just like, oh, this feels like it's coming out of nowhere. Because I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. I don't know anything about Wicked. So, it's been a good read. Been a good read so far. Okay, let's see here. 5, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 5. Alright, we can do that. 3, 4, 5, 5, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Center. Okay, we do that around. Actually, I went to Goodwill and found a bunch of books today to read. About like 5 or 6 more. Should last me for a minute. I've been reading about 5 novels a month. So I should have enough books now through like end of March. It's like not that expensive of a hobby if you're not picky about what you're reading. Like, I'm not really trying hard to like read whatever is coming out. You know, I'm not like spending $16 on a book. I'm going to Goodwill and buying used books, like used classics. Stuff that I recognize that are kind of deemed as classics and like, you know, or bestseller. I'll look for like Pulitzer Prize winning or best-selling and stuff like that. And most of them are fine. I think the best novel I've read recently is still I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. That was fantastic, by Maya Angelou. That was definitely the best book I've read in a minute. This is why I keep all the stone I get, because I never know when I'm gonna like do a stupid project and need it. So I just keep everything. Next row. Center 4, so let's see, 4, 3, 2, and 1, 1, 1, okay. Center, 4, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? 4, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, oop. 2. Center 5. Yeah, that's right. Okay. 2. I gotta order some dinner here shortly. I have some food here, but I'm just craving something different today. And I have a gift card, so I'm gonna treat myself. Something's wrong. Center. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1. Okay, I figured it out. I'm a smart little guy. Bam. All right. Bro, there was some young Sheldon slander happening in chat yesterday, and I just need to say something. I just need to speak my mind right now. I just need to let something out that I think there are a bunch of people, including myself, that are show purists. If a show isn't intellectually striking, then we just hate it, right? Is Young Sheldon intellectually striking? No. Is it funny? Maybe. Funny's pretty subjective, right? I'm not going to be the funny police. I think there are episodes that are funny and situations that are funny. But I think the dynamics of the characters are genuinely pretty good. I think that there's some pretty good character dynamics happening in that show that a lot of other shows don't have. I don't even think it's a top 20 shows of all time, right? It's like, no. But I enjoy the show. I will not say it is a Emmy award-winning show, because it's not. But it makes me feel good inside. Yeah, exactly. It's like a turn your brain off type of show, in a sense. Yeah. But I think there are good, like there are, I can criticize the show in a lot of ways, right? But I think there is good character dynamics. I really do. I don't think there are a lot of sitcoms that have character dynamics that I like. Like, I enjoy The Office, right? The chapter, or like the Office. I really like the dynamics between Jim and Dwight, and I like the dynamics between the salesman versus the non-salesman, and I like the dynamics of Michael with the rest of the office, and Jan and Michael, and then his next girlfriend. Like, they all have. Is it something you just sit down and like laugh at, like a stand-up comedy show? No, but there are like interesting dynamics being created that are most of the time relatable and like comedically, interesting, at least. Like, you at least sit down and smirk because you're like, boy, what an idiot, or I can't believe he freaking did that, or something, right? Like, there's something kind of good there. And then there are little one-liners in between. I think that is good, right? And I think that's what a show like Youngster Sheldon does. I think that there's really good character dynamics between the grandmother and her boyfriends, and Sheldon and his family, and the dad and the mom, and the pastor and the family, and there's just some really good dynamics happening there, because you got this special kid, and then a really stupid kid, and two parents that are fighting and have no idea what the frick they're doing. Like, I don't know. I think there's some worthwhile dynamics happening there. I really do. I think it's, at least I find it like relatable and entertaining. I don't think it's the best thing ever. I think it is an older type of show. Like if you have like boomer-esque humor, it's like S tier. As someone that doesn't have boomer-esque humor, I think it's fine. I think it's good. There are aspects of it that are funny. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay. But I think like my parents would love the show because they got the freaking boomer brain, you know. I think for me, it goes harder than The Big Bang Theory. White comedy, bro, don't bring race into this. There's a ton of really good sitcoms that play around the racial, like, dynamics of a family. Like, Everybody Hates Chris, Sister, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? Like, all these sitcoms play around race and comedy and the dynamics of the family. They all do that, and this show also does that. So don't even get out here with your white comedy looking. I think young Sheldon needed ramp up time because maybe it's just me, but I think they thought that the pitch of I see the writing of the show going like this. They're in the writer's room, right? For the pilot. And they're like, this show focuses around Sheldon and his family. And they're like, okay, but people love Sheldon, so we're going to need to make him the main focus. First 3 seasons, there was like not many scenes without Sheldon. The problem is that Sheldon is a really freaking bad character. He's predictable. He's linear. He's gonna do the same thing every time. And just like his family, it gets old. Like, by the second season, you're like, if this happens, this is how he's gonna respond. And sure enough, that's what he's gonna do. Now, it makes a very good side character. Like in The Big Bang Theory, it makes a great character because like you have the dynamics between the other characters. And you can say The Big Bang Theory isn't a great show. I would kind of be with you that it is not my cup of tea. It is like one of the best rated and like sold shows of all time. So I mean, you gotta at least say that there are people that watch it and that enjoy it, right? Once the show started ramping up and you started getting basically they were like, okay, Sheldon's linear, let's start focusing on the family dynamics. The show gets good. You bring in these side characters that are side characters and you start forcing them to have their own, like, not drama, but their own reckonings with Sheldon. Like, they start like, being like, why is Sheldon like this and I'm not? Or like, why is this happening for him and not me type of deal? And then you start getting some interesting dynamics with the family that you didn't get in season 1. It was just like, oh, that's his sister. She wasn't a character yet. But by the end of the show, she's like actually like starting to deal with some stuff. And I don't think it's executed perfectly. But I think it definitely makes it at least worth like mentioning as a show. It's at least interesting to me. I enjoy shows that are thought-provoking and difficult, but I can't watch them all the time. I mean, maybe other people can. I just can't do it. I can't watch these, like, psychological thrillers and intense shows all the time. I really like the feel-good shows and the turn off my brain show, and like the dynamics between the I think the grandma and the mom and Young Sheldon make that show. Their like acting and their dynamics, maybe it's because I can see it in the people I grew up around. Like, they're just boomers from the South, you know, and it's just funny to me to see them like have realizations that I wish people I was around had realizations of. But nevertheless, entertaining to me. Not everyone's cup of tea, though. Totally understand. What the heck? How did I do this wrong? Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And I realized that something that man makes bold. Yeah, that's what's happening. I'm not praising it. I'm just, well, am I praising it? I'm saying it has some good dynamics. I'm saying that it did not deserve the slander it was getting. It was getting some slander, and I don't know if, I think that what I was getting ready to say is that I think that there are a lot of people, myself included, that have a really hard time saying that something is, I think that, like, people like me, when I was younger, I did it way worse. I want everything to be definite. I want a show to be good or bad. I want a hobby to be boring or bad, or boring or good. I want a pet to be a good pet or a bad pet. I was very much, maybe it was the way I was raised. I'm gonna blame the way I was raised, because my dad is definitely like that. But there's definitely, like, something I see, especially with a lot of younger people, or a lot of, like, people that enjoy controversial, strong, because a lot of people do it because they want an argument, like, they want the attention of it. They'll be like, you'll be like, hey, did you see this? I don't watch that. That's freaking stupid, right? And is that what they mean? Probably not, but they like the attention that saying something like that gets them. I'm definitely guilty of that, and I'm trying to actively do that less because I don't like people that do that. So I'm personally trying to do it less myself. It can be fun sometimes, but it's not, I don't think it's pleasant to be around all the time. Anyway, I do it way more online than I do in real life. Online, there's a less opportunity to have nuance with it, which makes it even more entertaining, but more annoying in my opinion. And, yeah, I'm trying to not do that. I think, like, a lot of people have a tendency to be this, like, this music or artist is good or bad. I was really, really bad about this in, when I was young. And I realized that I ostracized a lot of people, and I made a lot of people uncomfortable. Because as a kid, I was very much like, I freaking hate this. Like, if you don't think the exact way I do or have the exact same taste I do, you're a freaking idiot. And you're uncultured. And you have no idea what you're talking about. And I realized that talking like that, not only is it not true, it just doesn't help anybody. Like, it can be entertaining, but I think a lot of people just do it because they want the attention. they find that it gives them a negative attention, and a lot of people just like negative attention. And a lot of people that I associate with and hang out with do this. I am and was guilty of it. I'm trying to do it less. Yeah, well, I'm doing it a little ironically. When you say you don't like bluegrass, I'm doing it as like, I'm doing the counter argument of it. Like if someone says like, oh, I don't like rap, it freaking sucks. Anyone that likes it's an idiot. Or like if you're like, dude, bluegrass sucks, like, it's just twanging, bro. It's freaking stupid, right? And then I'm going to counteract that with, oh, you have no taste, or something like that, right? It's like counter irony or whatever you want to say. I think the real reaction is like, oh, this is a musical experience I'm unfamiliar with, and at face value, it does not seem like something that is familiar and comfortable to me, and so I'm not really sure if I like this. Because that's what I've realized, a lot of what we do in life comes down to a Gestalt psychological principle. Is it something that's familiar to us? And if so, are we familiar with it, and has it brought positive memories and experience? So if you hear something for the first time and it's very foreign, and you can't instantly compare it to something in your head that has a positive experience, you're almost always going to go like, what the heck is this? I do not like this at all. You try new food for the first time, it tastes unlike anything you've ever had. Most of the time you're going to go like, what the heck is this? But if you try something and it's like, oh, it's like this other thing that I like, your brain is automatically be like, this is good. Like it's like chicken Alfredo. I love chicken Alfredo. Like, this is great, right? I think our brains do a very similar thing with everything that we consume: media, music, people, social events, whatever. I think we do the same thing. And it took me a long time to kind of like come to terms with that. And that like a lot of people really suck at just being like, this is just not something I'm super familiar with. So at first glance, doesn't seem like my thing, right? Again, I'm guilty of that. But I think a lot of people are really bad at that. I'm not attacking anyone. It's just something that I notice a lot. And I used to be super bad about it. Now I typically do it kind of more ironically. If someone is purposely being obtuse to me, then I'll be obtuse back, which probably doesn't help anything either. But it's entertaining. So at least that's what I find. But I realize that a lot of people, it just hurts their feelings, right? It's like, if you just crap on something that someone likes or is very passionate about, and your reasoning is it's unfamiliar to you, even if you have very concrete reasoning for why something isn't good, I still think it's a lot. Like, let me think of an example of something. I could look at a lot of art or music. I mean, art and music are kind of subjective, but I can look at a lot of art and music, and in a traditional sense, give you a lot of, or shows or whatever, books, and give you a very kind of maybe traditional analysis of why the execution or something like that is like not super great, right? I can, like, a lot of people look at modern sports, or they look at old this or old that, or they look at numbers or statistics or something non-subjective or even something subjective, and they'll be like, this is not great because blah, blah, blah. I think that even those conversations can be kind of hard because a lot of people just are invested in stuff more than we can know that they're invested in it, which is kind of hard to explain, but you may be like taking a crap on something that means a lot to someone, which is something that, again, I just feel like I did a lot when I was growing up unintentionally, because I was socially awkward, and I'm trying to do that less. I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's kind of where the Young Sheldon thing started from. And I think I know a lot of people will be like, bro, this sucks. They're not real. That's not what they're really saying. It's like they're being a little facetious for attention, you know. That's fine, I guess. You got to know your audience when you're doing that, though. You do that to the wrong people, you make enemies. And everything is so subjective. I think the only time... I'm trying to think of an instance where it's, like, not subjective for me to be like, that freaking sucks. I mean, I think we get into it with politics a lot like that because of how passionate some people are about certain topics and stuff, right? It's like, I see no downside to public health care, right? And there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, no, public health care is the worst thing ever because whatever. But at least then there can be some level of nuance of like, here's some statistics, or like here's why I think the way I think, and stuff like that, right? There can be some nuanced discussion there, and there can be nuanced discussion about subjective things too. But I still think I think a lot of things would be better if people just would take a step back and be like, well, I just disagree. I think that like there's a lot of evidence that supports that this would be more beneficial. Like publicized healthcare to me just seems like a more beneficial thing for a lot of people, you know. Instead of being like, do you believe in private healthcare? What is this, the Stone Age? Even though that's really entertaining, don't know if it really helps anybody, you know? Do be entertaining though. Definitely do be entertaining. I definitely get defensive about stuff I'm passionate about, though. I'm trying to do that less, but it's hard. There's just something in my personality type that makes it very difficult for me. And I've realized it for a long time, and I'm trying to not be that way, but it is very hard. Very, very difficult for me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Some people can shake it off way better. I think it's because my parents are so stubborn. They never really taught me that. I think there was a point where, like, my dad is very much like, listen to those people listening to their rap music. It ain't even music. It's just beatboxing. It's just this. It's just that. And so it's like, that's what I grew up around. So I never learned the whole, like, I wasn't exposed to it. I didn't hear hip-hop or rap until I was in college. Like, where I could actually listen to it and understand what was happening, you know? I didn't listen to pop music or anything, so all that stuff was very foreign to me. I think people listening, like I said, Gestalt theory, right? It's like hearing something or doing something new makes people uncomfortable, and you're not gonna get an honest opinion out of, like, you're gonna miss all the nuance of what something could or couldn't be, you know? Is all rap this linear type of thing? No. There's a lot of, like, I'm passionate about whatever. Let's say animation, or like art, graphic design, right? There's a lot of graphic design and art and stuff that I don't like, even though I'm passionate about it. There's a lot I'm passionate about old time and bluegrass music. There's a lot of bluegrass that if it's on the radio, I turn it off. It's not what I want to listen to. So I get it. Not everything has to be everyone's thing, you know? I think just having a mutual appreciation for more stuff would be better. Like, even if I don't like trap, really. A lot of trap and rap just didn't grow up with it, so to me, I struggle relating. I think a lot of the scream music is a similar type of thing. I struggle kind of appreciating that. But I still think there's value in it, and I see that there's, like, merit in it, you know? So yeah, I wish more people would do that, but as someone that really struggles with it myself, I understand. Almost done with this? JB, when the new Yeet album comes out, we'll listen to it front to back. Okay. I'm sure there's some good stuff in there. Again, I think it's like there's a lot of stuff that's just foreign, even in our own culture, art. Like, I may not enjoy it or understand it because it's foreign to me, but it doesn't mean there's not merit, you know? Some progress. What this looks like. Let's go sleep before phantoms come after us. I need to order dinner. Let me order dinner real quick. Bear with me here. Bear with me here. We're gonna get Mexican today. It gives me indigestion every time I eat it, but I eat it anyway. Because I'm clinically insane. feel like this place near me, it's like... I feel like it's like... They have good ratings and stuff, but I feel like it's not actual... What does burrito order go? Never heard of that. I feel like it's, not actually super good. I feel like it's just, like, mid. Your burrito order? Oh, what is my go-to? Oh, go-to burrito order. Okay, yeah, there wasn't punctuation, so I was like, I thought you were telling me you'd go to a shop. Burrito. I like burrito Californias are good. I love like beans and I just like loaded burritos. I like everything. I'm not super picky, but loaded burritos are pretty good to me. When I was in college, I lived next to a Moe's Southwest Grill. It's kind of like a Chipotle kind of deal, except they don't use cilantro, which means I can actually eat it. And I used to get their burritos all the time. They have some good burritos. Those burritos were like the size of like a baby child, bro. They're like 4 pounds. It's crazy. I'd get like 3 meals off of burrito. Almost done here. I'm gonna go play some League. I'm gonna take a break from the world. If I'm gonna do anything off camera, by the way, I might extend this road out a little bit. But we're not gonna do too much, probably off camera. Probably come back tomorrow and stream as well. Did I count that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I did. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Alright, how close are we to the top of this thing? Oh, we're close. We only got like 3 more layers. See, I disagree, like, the extra food thing, right? This is my feeling about the extra food thing. I think this is an American thing from what I've seen. I would much rather get an appropriate amount and pay an appropriate amount. Like, those burritos are, like, $11 or something. It's like, I would rather pay $5 and get the appropriate amount of burrito. Every time. I hope that's not a hot take, but just me. I would rather just get an appropriate amount of food. If I go to a restaurant and the meal is $14, I don't want a to-go box. I want to pay $7 and I want to get the perfect amount. Every time. Because whenever I get to-go food, I like, yeah, I'm gonna guiltily eat it at like midnight, right? Like, yeah, that is not an awful feeling. But again, I think I would rather just get the appropriate amount of food in the first time. I feel like the whole like, I think it's a very American problem from what I've read. The whole like, too much food thing. I find that I just eat way too much when I go to restaurants that do that. I eat too much. I overindulge. I feel bad. No, I think they do it because we've cultivated a culture of more is better. 100%. Like if you look at we just live in a world where it's like, I think especially after World War II, people came back and they go to a restaurant and you slap down like 3 pounds of food. The people are like, "Whoa, bro! Look at all that food!" Yeah, you know, and it's like, that has just not stopped. Like that indulgent feeling of food has just continued and continued and continued, and then it's just like, we're in America. Look how much food we get here. It's crazy, and it just has like ingrained itself in the food making industry. And I think too, it's like you're wasting food if you make too much food. Like if you're making like, if you're like fixing like a 2-pound burger and you give them like a bucket of fries, that's too much food. Like you are wasting food. Food will not be, there's a very high chance food will not be consumed, right? The problem is that the guilt or the fault of the food not being consumed falls on the consumer and not the restaurant. Now, if the restaurant is like, hey, we're gonna serve appropriate sized meals, and they fix 2 pounds of fries, and then they only sell a pound and they have to throw it out, then the food waste falls on the restaurant. And I think that feels worse for restaurants, especially with dishes. A lot of dishes you have to make in bulk. You have to make at some degree of bulk. Some dishes you can't just make like a small amount, right? And so I think that's a lot of it too, is that the weight of guilt or the consumption amount, waste amount feels different. I think that's a lot of it. Especially with American foods. But, you know, I don't know. Like, I just ordered Mexican. It was like $14. I'll get 2 meals out of it. But again, I'm pretty sure I would rather just pay $7 and get a decent amount. Like, what I actually want. I don't know if it leads to, I don't want to say it's not going to lead to eating disorders, but I definitely think it leads to overeating, and I think we have that problem in America. I know I've struggled with that. Definitely. If you look at all the countries that serve food like that, they all have obesity issues. If the $7 meal is too much for someone, if the $7 meal is like 1,400 calories, which is already plenty for a meal, because I guarantee you this $14 meal I just ordered, I guarantee you it's like 2,500 calories, right? If you look at it nutrition and caloric wise, and you need more calories, I think that's on you. I think then you order an extra side of something, or you order a dessert, or because like a $7 1,400 1,300 caloric meal should be fine for almost all body types. If you are finding that you're having hunger issues as someone that needs, if you're like calorie deficiting as like a 6'3" person, then you need to change how you're eating meals, not the amount of meals you're eating. You need to change the frequencies in which you're eating meals and stuff, because the amount of food is typically not the issue. I think most nutritionists would say that. Like, I've seen small people put away some food, you know what I'm saying? I've seen some shorter guys with big tummies eat some food, man. You're like, where are they putting this crap? I had an experience like that a few years ago. Holy moly. I went out to eat with a guy, and he just kept... Bro, he ordered so much food. He ate it all and then just like sat back. He had to eat like 3,000 calories. I kid you not. Holy crap, dude. That was crazy. I was like, it's no way he's gonna eat all of it. He ate all of it. I don't know how. I physically don't know how. It's crazy. Freaking wild, man. There should be plenty of space for an iron farm, I think. And then also to put a building around it. Iron farms is just small now. Alright, bro. Thanks for being here, broski. Thanks for the hype. I needed a hype man right now. We needed a hype man in chat. Two, one, two. We're gonna finish this build, you know? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 1. No, this can't be right. I seem to have made an error. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. What? How did I mess up? 1, 2, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 1. How is this not 1? 1, 2. What? How am I messing this up? How the heck am I messing this up? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter that much, but... 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. 2, 1. 2. 1, 2, 2, 4. What? I don't understand how I'm messing this up. Center. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that has to be right. 1, 2, 3, 4. That has to be right. Oh, it's because it's 3. It's like this. 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. 2. 1. 2. We got it. I found out. 2, 1, 2, 2. Okay, that's right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Counting. Oof. Eating through our stone, boy. My order's been picked up. Man, did I miscount again? Center 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. 2, 1, 2. There we go. Okay. Alright. I got a few more rows to do. I'm going to do them off camera. My food is going to be here in about 10 to 15 minutes. Thank you guys for watching today and for being here and for talking in chat. Covered a lot of stuff, but it was nice to kind of just, you know, ramble on about stuff for a little bit. Thank you guys for tuning in. Exciting things on the way. I'm going to try to finish up this island off camera so that next time we can start building an iron farm and have fun in the hardcore Minecraft world. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.